Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham. Now in this video I'm going to start a new topic, network analysis, in the subject of operations research. Already I have completed one unit, that is unit number 5, consisting of 3 topics: queuing theory, game theory and simulation. So many problems I have given on these 3 topics. Hope my regular viewers have already watched all the videos regarding game theory and queuing theory and simulation. Now network analysis, unit number 4. In examination, frequently they will ask you a theory question regarding what is network analysis, what are the objectives of this network analysis, what is PERT and CPM. All these things I am going to explain, so don't ignore the theoretical part, because most of the examination they will ask theory as well as problems. So if you understand the theory concept, then it will become easier for you to understand the problems. Otherwise, every problem will be a peculiar problem. So before starting the explanation of this topic, network, what do you mean by network? What is the meaning of network analysis? What is a project? What is PERT CPM? Objectives of making network analysis. So take the screenshot of the points, then I'll explain all the points in detail. Now, first of all, before going to understand the meaning of the term network analysis, first of all, we must know what do you mean by network. A network is a graphical presentation of a complex project. A project will have so many activities. A bundle of activities and events is called a project. So the project will be represented in a graphical presentation. That graphical presentation of a project is called network. So network is a graphical representation of a project's operations and is composed of activities and events that must be completed to reach the end objective of a project. Every project will have an end objective. So how to attain the end objective of the project? By successfully completing all the activities of the project in a systematic, scientific manner, then showing the planning sequence of their accomplishments, their dependence and interrelationship. So a project is a bundle of so many activities and events. Those activities and events should be arranged in a sequence, finding out the relationship, dependence relationship and interrelationship of different activities. So in simple words, we can say a network is a graphical representation of a project's activities, making the sequence of activities, finding out the interrelationship so that the project can be successfully completed. Just an example I'll give you. An engineer, before starting the work of his constructional activity, he will make a graph. He will make a diagram. How should be the project? What are the activities involved in completing the project? What is the sequence of those activities? How much is the time duration for each activity? Systematically he has to plan. Then only he can be able to accomplish the objective of completing the project. Before learning about network analysis, we must know what is a project. A project is any human activity which has a beginning and end. Example, an engineer has to construct a multi-storied building. So this completion of building is a project. It has a beginning and end. Starting laying down a foundation, then putting the beams, putting the piers, putting the roof. All these are the activities. So it has a beginning and ending. So planning, scheduling and controlling the work is the main task of any project manager. every project manager has to plan the activities, has to schedule the activities, control the activities. So these are the main activities or tasks of the project manager. Now project planning calls for detailing the project into activities, estimating resources and time for each activity and describing activity interrelationship. The first task of the project manager is planning. Planning means before starting the project, actually doing the project, he has to plan. What are the resources we require? How much time is required? What is the relationship between different activities? Some activities can be done simultaneously. Some activities will be predecessor and successor. All these has to be studied, made the plan. So planning is the first task of the project manager, in which he has to decide what are the resources required, how much time is required, what is the sequence of activity to be performed, and what is the relationship. Secondly, scheduling. Scheduling means estimating how much time is required to accomplish each activity. So scheduling requires the detailing of starting and completion for each activity. When the activity should be started, when the activity will come to an end, how much duration is required. Example, in the constructional industry, the project manager, the engineer, first of all, he has to plan what are the resources is required. Secondly, scheduling, when each activity will start and when that activity will come to an end, how much is the duration required. That is scheduling. Thirdly, controlling. Controlling means seeing that whatever we have planned, are we achieving it or not. Normally what will happen, there will be some deviations. Whatever we have made the plan, that will not go according to plan. The actual work may deviate from the plan work. Then he has to control the activities. Why this deviation are taking place? What are the reason for deviations regarding the planned activity and actual activity? Controlling is required. So these three are the main task of every project manager. Now network analysis. So far we have discussed about the meaning of the term network and what is a project and what are the tasks of project manager. Now network analysis is very important technique for planning, scheduling and controlling and monitoring the progress of a large and complex project comprising of number of activities. See here, if the project is a small one, minute project, little project, not much planning, scheduling, controlling is required, easily we can do. For example, an engineer has to construct a single storied house. He does not require much planning because the project is a very small project. But when the project is a large project, complex project, involving so many activities, in that case, the project manager has to apply the technique of network analysis. So network analysis is a technique which is applied in a large and complex project consisting of so many activities, then planning those activities, scheduling, controlling, monitoring those activities so that the project should be completed on time, according to specification, within the stipulated cost. Then it is particularly useful in case of construction, maintenance and fabrication projects, or purchasing and assembling of multi-component products, or installation of computer system, research and development and design of project. Innumerable areas are there where we can apply this network analysis. Mostly we can easily understand construction of a multi-storied building. Multi-storied building construction activity. But that is not confined only for construction. Number of cases where the project is very large. Example, research and design, research and development of a missile. For that purpose also we need network analysis. A huge computer, a large computer has to be made up, sophisticated computer has to be made up. Again, network analysis is required. Now, as a tool of minimizing the use of time and resources, see, if we do not make network analysis, if we start doing a complex project, it may take more time, it may take more resources, and finally the end product of the project will not be achieved because we have not planned, we have not scheduled. So in order to minimize the time, minimize the resources required, and successfully complete the project as per the specification, we need network analysis. So delays, production delays and interruptions, and coordinating various activities and events, it is of great practical utility. So in order to remove all the interruptions, disruptions, all these things, bottlenecks, to remove all these hurdles, we require network analysis, which is of great practical utility. Now, normally, why this network analysis will be applied? For any project, one may be interested in answering different questions. For any project, a number of questions may arise. The first question, when do we expect the project to be completed? How much time, estimated time is required to complete the project? That is the first question to be answered. Secondly, if any activity is delayed, what effect will this have on overall completion of the project? We have planned that every activity will take so much of time. But do you think that whatever we have planned, the same time will be actually used? No. We have planned that a activity will take 2 weeks to complete. But when we actually started doing the work, it has taken 3 weeks. That means delay by 1 week. So if any activity is delayed, what will be the impact on the overall completion of the project? Then third one, if there are any additional funds available to reduce the time to perform certain activities, how should they be spent? Sometimes crashing of activities. Crashing of activities means that reducing the time duration of the activity. For example, normally an activity will take 5 weeks to complete, but there is a possibility if we apply additional resources, we can be able to complete the activity in 3 weeks also. Then is it feasible to apply additional activities to reduce the time or not? The project manager has to decide. In that case, network analysis will be helpful to take the decision whether we should crash the activity or do the activity in normal time. Lastly, what is the probability of completing the project in a scheduled time? The project manager has scheduled that this project will be completed in 20 weeks. So what are the chances? Because we are estimating that in 20 weeks we can be able to finish off the project. But what is the probability? What is the probability that we can be able to? 90% probability, 95% probability we can be able to finish off according to scheduled time. So these are the questions normally we ask for any project. And the answer to these projects we can get by applying network analysis. Now the main objective, why this network analysis will be applied? The main objective of project management can be described in terms of successful project. The main objective why we apply network analysis is to successfully complete the project according to the specification within the time stipulated and within the budgeted cost. So how to successfully complete the project? By 3 things. We want to complete the project within the stipulated time, within the budgeted cost, and according to our specification. So the main objective is to answer this, we apply network analysis. Now, the 2 most widely used technique in network analysis are PERT and CPM. PERT. The full form of PERT is Program Evaluation and Review Technique. Shortly, it is called PERT. And CPM, Critical Path Method. So these 2 are the most commonly used technique in network analysis. Both are network analysis, but both some differences are there between PERT and CPM. In examination, you may be asked a question regarding what are the differences between PERT and CPM. So here I am explaining difference between PERT and CPM. The difference between PERT and CPM arose primarily because of the original job for which such technique was developed. What is the nature of the job? According to the nature of the job or nature of the project, we apply PERT and CPM. PERT will be applied to a different type of project, and CPM will be applied to a different type of project. What are those different projects? Now I will explain. The PERT technique was applied to research and development project, while CPM was used towards construction project. First difference. First difference is the PERT will be applied in case of unique project, difficult project. So for research and development, first time we are developing, first time we are making some research, there we apply PERT. And the constructional activity where routine activities are there, not a unique one, there we apply CPM method. Next one, both of them share the notion of critical path are based on network analysis. Both CPM and PERT are network analysis only, and both will use the critical path. What is critical path? In the next video I am going to explain. Time being, you remember, both PERT and CPM will use critical path and network analysis. Next one, PERT is particularly useful for non-repetitive and complex project in which time estimates are uncertain. This is very, very important, this point. PERT is particularly applicable where the project is non-repetitive. Non-repetitive means unique project. The project is entirely new one. First time we are doing the project where the time estimates are not known, uncertain. We do not know how much time. Example, in case of missile. A missile is being developed, planned, researched. So we don't know how much time it will be applied, because a new type of missile we are making. A new type of computer we are going to make. So in that case, there is uncertainty regarding time, non-repetitive job, so we apply PERT. Now, CPM is best utilized for repetitive and non-complex project when time estimates can be made with some measure of certainty. CPM will be applied for a repetitive jobs, for a same type of jobs where we can estimate the time required for every activity. Example, in case of constructional project. In constructional project, already the project manager knows how much time will be required for each type of activity with certainty. So in this case, repetitive job, not a unique job, simple job, so we can apply CPM method. Then the selection of the technique depends on the degree of uncertainty associated with time estimates. Finally, the main point is time estimates. In case of PERT technique, program evaluation and review technique, the time estimates are completely uncertain. We have to find out what is the probable time. But in case of CPM, critical path method, the time estimates are more or less certain. We can easily estimate the time required for every activity. Lastly, in essence, while PERT is probabilistic in nature, and as such it is used more in research and development projects. Probabilistic in nature, that means all the resources, all the activities, all the time estimates are only probabilistic. We have to give the probability. We are not sure. Normally in case of research and development, we apply PERT. But the CPM is a deterministic technique and thus finds application mostly in constructional project. The probabilistic is PERT and deterministic is CPM. Because in CPM method, we can estimate, we can determine how much time will be required for every activity. So that's why we apply in construction industry. Whereas PERT, uncertainty is there, probabilistic is there. That's why we apply in research and development, unique project, non-repetitive project. That's all. So in this video, I have explained you about the meaning of the term network. What is a project? What is network analysis? What is the objective of network? And lastly, the difference between PERT and CPM. So if you are satisfied, give a like to the video, share my channel among your friends, among your group, so that more students can watch the video and enhance the knowledge. Give your comments, subscribe my channel if you have not yet subscribed, and buy the super thanks which is given below my video. Inshallah, we'll continue our discussion on this network analysis in the next video.